What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, man, I got a very special build in store for y'all. Now, I'm gonna be calling this one the Inside Out Lockdown, but it's actually gonna come out to a two-way inside out threat. Now, this is absolutely one of the best point guard builds that you can make for being all around. And as far as for this build, we're going to be able to reach a 99 plus for our attributes when it comes to our driving layup, post control, ball handle, perimeter defense, steal, and stamina. Now we'll also be able to get the upgraded layup packages as well as the pro dribble animations. And with today's build, we're going to be able to get a total of 10 Hall of Fame badges. My favorites today, we're going to be Interceptor, 94 feet, Postman Technician, and Float Game. You'll also be able to get 13 gold, 26 silver, and 12 bronze. Now this is absolutely one of the most best catfish post score builds to make. It's also a very great interior finisher and really an all-around build. Now the defense is definitely the best attribute for this build, but you can also go ahead and say the same exact thing for the finishing. Now this is also one of the best two-way builds, and honestly the ball handling is going to be more than enough to be the main ball handler for any team. So look, before we get any further into today's video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So to get started today, we're going to leave this build under the point guard position. Getting into the height, I'm going to go with 6'8", with the weight of 185. Now from here, as for the wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'6", and this is what the build should be looking like moving forward. And the first area that I do want to get into today is definitely going to be the physicals. So as for the speed, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 81. Getting into the acceleration, I'm going to go with a 73. Now as for the strength, I'm going to go with a 65 here. And then as for the vertical itself, leave this at a 51 with a stamina of a 99. Now remember, you get the +4 from the Gatorade facility workouts. We'll have an 85 speed, 77 acceleration, 69 strength, 55 vertical with a 99 stamina. Now this is honestly going to set you up for the rest of the build, so just be sure that you follow along with these exact numbers and the rest of the way is going to be perfect. So getting into the close shot, I'm going to go with a 68. As for when it comes down to our driving layup, I like this best at an 88. And then getting into our post control, I think this is going to be best at a 92. Now from here, look, if you want to go ahead and upgrade the driving dunk, you can definitely do so, but I want to be sure that on this build, I'm focused primarily on the layup, especially when it comes down to being a finisher. I think this is going to be the main attribute that you should be focusing on. Now this is going to give us a lot more wiggle room when it comes to our offense and defense. So from here, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the shooting. As for when it comes down to our mid-range shot, I'm going to go with a 70. Moving into the three-pointer, I like this best at a 78. And then for the free throw, go ahead and put this to a 74. Now as you can see, take into consideration buying your own boost, activating your takeover, playing well throughout each game, and wearing gear. These numbers are easily going to be able to reach into the 80s for the shooting. As for when it comes down to the free throw, I think this allows you to be pretty balanced in any 5v5 setting. Now from here, I do want to go ahead and get into the pass accuracy, so I'm going to go with a 77. As for the ball handle, I'm going to go with an 85. And then getting into the breakdown of the speed with ball, I'm going to put this to a 75. Now this is what we should be looking like on this end of the floor. Now with this 85 ball handle, you'll also be able to get a majority of the dribble packages unlocked. The speed with the ball, you definitely don't want to go anything lower than this number. And then for the pass accuracy, I think this is going to be perfect to take into the rack as well as Pro-Am. Now if you're looking to take this build into any type of threes game mode, I think the pass accuracy is going to be perfect for that as well. Now, I promise to get into the offensive badges once we complete the defensive end. Now, as you can see with this interior, I think this year, having a 65 is going to be more than enough. Getting into the perimeter, I'm going to go with a 93, and then as for the steal, I'm going to put this all the way up to a 95. Now, this is definitely one of the most strongest areas of today's build. Getting into the block, I'm going to go with a 77. And then for the rebounding, I'm going to go with an 83. Now, this is what we should be looking like maxed out 99 overall. As you can see, starting with the badges on the defensive end, for that interior, I really like Anchor. Then we'll also be able to get other badges like Clamps. You get Gold Challenger, Silver Fast Feet, Hall of Fame 94 feet, and then for the steal, we'll be able to get Gold Glove, Right Stick Ripper, and Hall of Fame Interceptor. Now, as for the block, I think Anchor on bronze is more than enough. And then for the defensive rebound, I think Silver Rebound Chaser really is going to allow this build to board over smaller defenders. Now, once we take a look at the playmaking, as you can see, we get Silver Blow-By, Hyperdrive Speed Booster, and Triple Strike. Now, for this area, you get Unpluggable, Ankle Breaker on the gold tier with Silver Blow-By, Handles for Days and Physical Handles, and I also do like Killer Combos. Now for the pass accuracy, you'll also be able to get Silver Break Starter, Relay Passer, and Special Delivery. Now these are just some of the main badges that I do like for today's build. With that being said, we're going to get a total of 61 badges. Now for the shooting, we're going to be able to get Bronze Blinders, Silver Catch and Shoot, Green Machine Space Crater, Guard Up and Open Looks, Post Fade Phenom. I'm thinking all of these badges are definitely perfect for this build. Now I also do like Agent 3 on the bronze tier. From here, we also do get other badges like Spot Finder. Guard Up I think definitely is going to be important. Now look, if there's anything that you would do to go ahead and make this build better, let me know in the comments right now. Now as for when it comes down to our finishing, on the post control, you do get Gold Unpluggable. I love Silver Dream Shake with Gold Drop Stepper. Now you do get Bronze Hook Specialist, Post Fade Phenom, and Hall of Fame Post Spin Technician. Now as for the close shot, I like Gold Fearless Finisher. I'm telling y'all, this is a very overpowered badge. You'll also be able to get Hall of Fame Pro Touch, Giant Slayer, and even Silver Whistle. Now for the dropping layup, I think this is one of the most overpowered areas for today's build. So as you can see, we get Silver Slithery, Gold Acrobat, Bunny, Pro Touch Scooper, Float Game, I'm telling y'all, a very special badge. Then you get Giant Slayer like I mentioned earlier, Spin Cycle with 2-Step. Now this is what we're going to be looking like completely for today's build. Now look, if you buy your own boost, activate your takeover, wear gear, and then on top of that, play well throughout each game, 2K is going to be giving us a minor boost towards our attributes. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below right now. But from here, let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that everybody made the build correctly. Now we should be able to get these 3 different comparisons, and as y'all can see, together we have created the Inside Out Lockdown Defender, which does come out to a 2-way Inside Out threat. Now I just want to say thank y'all for the support, and if you made this build exactly how I brought it to y'all today, take into consideration adding everything up when it comes to adding boosts. Now you have a lot of potential on the defense as well as the finishing. The shooting, I think it's definitely worth it, working with a lower rating for the 3-pointer and mid-range. Now the ball handle really is going to set you apart from most lockdowns. So before we get out of here, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.